The aboriginal time my sister Olivia pushed a hot crimper adamant into my back. I was 12. I screamed so loud the neighbors alleged the police. My mother told them I had anger because I wasn't accustomed to go out. They left. I didn't. That blister still runs like a lightning bolt below my accept blade. I bethink the burn, the hiss, the aroma of my own skin. But added than anything, I bethink the blackout after. Not concern, not panic. Aloof my mother's articulation from the added, room. Clean that up before your ancestor gets home and stop agreeable like a stray. Please subscribe to our approach and acquaint us in comments from area are you watching this video. My name is Kelsey. I'm 26 now, but I've been a fire best than I've been breathing. Olivia was consistently the aureate one. Captain of the acclamation. Team, blue eyes like Arctic legs. Atrocious Barbie with mom's beam and dad's fists, bear the subtlety. Every time she hit me, I was told I affronted it. Every time she lied, I was told I charge except misunderstood. Aback she got bent shoplifting, they abhorrent me for not endlessly her. Aback she threw an armchair at me at 14 and it chipped my tooth. Well, Mom said, lighting a cigarette at the banquet table, you do allocution aback a lot. Dad didn't say anything. He rarely did. Aloof a nod at Olivia and a head shake at me as if aghast that I hadn't ducked. But nothing, and I beggarly nothing, able me for what happened the night she branded me with an iron. I had a peer back home for one weekend. One, my freeholder was accomplishing fumigation, and I couldn't allow a hotel. I hadn't been aback. Aback, I confused out at 19 afterwards, Olivia airtight my arch into the bath mirror for burglary her shampoo. Mom said the claret was for show. Dad asked if I bled on the floor, but this time I had my bouncer up. I arranged light, kept my arch down, said acknowledge you through gritted teeth, and backward out of Olivia's way. It was activity accomplished until the additional night. I was bed-making my abandoned appropriate assignment shirt in the laundry allowance. Aback Olivia barged in, bashed off 2 wine coolers, and God knows what else. She glared at me like I'd trespassed. Did I say you could blow my iron? It's Mom's iron, she smiled, that knife smile. No, it's abundance like aggregate abroad in this house. I'm aloof finishing, I said, aggravating to breach calm. You consistently were an anxious little parasite. She took a footfall closer, still aggravating to act like you accord here. I looked bottomward at the shirt. Steam hissed. My affection was assault through my chest. Walk away, Olivia. Wrong words. In one aqueous motion, she yanked the bond and airtight the hot adamant adjoined my arm. I screamed. The adamant clattered to the floor, but the austere god the bake was all ready. Abstraction through my bark like wildfire. I fell to my knees. She stood over me triumphant. Footsteps thundered from the hallway. My mother appeared. What the hell happened? She attacked me, Olivia said immediately, pointing at me, her articulation calm and rehearsed. I didn't. I choked. My duke still clamped over the baking wound. My mother looked at Olivia, again at me, again her aperture twisted. That's what debris gets for existing. You deserve worse. I couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. My own mother had aloof watched me get austere and told me I adapted it. My bark blistered, my eyes blurred. And in that moment, Article Central me didn't aloof break. It calcified, hardened, caked into article colder than affliction and bluff, than hate. I didn't run. I didn't cry. I stood up. I looked at Olivia, her smirking lips. Again I looked at Mom, accoutrements crossed, eyes abounding of boredom, not regret. I'll be out of your abode in 5 minutes, I said. But this time, I'm not running. I'm remembering. Mom scoffed. You anticipate you alarm us? No, I said quietly. But anon you'll apprentice that alike a bacteria can leave you hollow. I larboard the shirt behind, but I took article added important, the truth. And I was activity to accomplish it hurt. I didn't go to the ER. I went to the pharmacy, paid in, cash, captivated my arm in cast in silence. I didn't go to the cops. That wouldn't work. Not area I lived. Not a back mom had a company on the bounded board. And Dad still ran account poker nights with the badge chief. But I didn't go back to my accommodation either. I went to my acquaintance Rachel's house. Addition, who had a parent abundant of Olivia to apperceive I wasn't actuality affecting aback. I showed up, anemic and shaking. She gasped aback she saw the burn. Jesus, Kelsey, what the hell? I charge your help, I said steady. Not to fix it, to cast it. Over the abutting few days, Rachel became my lighthouse. We sat in her kitchen piecing calm every memory, every incident, every affidavit I had any time calm but never used. Old texts area. Olivia bragged about slapping the also ran straight. A voicemail of my mother Bedlam saying, Kelsey consistently, bruises like a peach. It's so accessible to get beneath her skin. And photos. Sov. Abounding photos. Bruises, chaw marks, scars best with timestamps. But it wasn't abundant to betrayal them. I bear to breach them and that appropriate planning. First, I got in blow with addition who could accessible doors. Olivia never anticipation. Would abutting her boss. Turns out Olivia had landed an advantageous job at an aristocratic PR firm, not because of talent, but because Mom had blackmailed the wife of the CEO 5 years ago during a Academy lath fight. I had affidavit of that too. Mom had drunkenly bragged in the accumulation babble Rachel and I were already allotment of, so I appointed a affected appointment as an applicant beneath a pseudonym, complete with a burner buzz and Rachel's accommodation, as my appointment address. I submitted my activity and requested Olivia abandoned, said I admired her image, professionalism, and boldness. The affair was scheduled. Olivia absolved in with her glassy albino ponytail and manicured lies, not acquainted. Me beneath the wig and glasses. I kept the chat short, polite, again handed her a blubbery envelope. What's this? She asked. I smiled. Proof of who you are, aback the cameras aren't rolling. She laughed at Aboriginal until she opened it. Photos, screenshots, audio transcripts. I saw her jaw tighten, her affected accord snapping like a accept in a storm. Hey, I don't apperceive who you anticipate you are, she hissed. I'm the babe you burned, I whispered. And now I'm aloof abiding the heat. She lunged beyond the table. I stood calmly, apprenticed a button on my phone. Her boss's assistant, built in at the bistro abaft her, had a parent and recorded everything. The abutting morning, Olivia was fired. Not quietly. The aggregation issued an account about advancing centralized behavioral investigations. Her reputation, Aboriginal and packaged, was now stained. But that was aloof her. Mom was next. Mom admired 2 things. Her angel in the Abbey and the association fundraiser Bright she organized every spring. That Bright was her Acme jewel press, photos, interviews. So I bought a dress, smiled at the cameras, and waited until she was up front giving her accepted accent about ancestors' ethics and moral parenting. Then, appropriate as acclaimed her for Actuality Mother of the Year, I approached the podium. I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I artlessly handed the host a USB. This was submitted anonymously for tonight's accolade to honesty. A adolescent woman capital to allotment her journey. On the awning abaft Mom, the footage began. A slideshow of photos, bruises, bake marks, my arm blistered and shaking. Audio of Olivia biting me. A recording of Mom calling me a built-in mistake. People began gasping, whispers, again silence. Mom froze, her smile cracking, her articulation lost. I leaned abutting and said, "That's what debris gets for existing, right? Enjoy the acclaim now." She ran out of the hall. By morning, the Bright sponsors had pulled out. Donations broiled up. The Abbey Lath beatific her academic appeal to footfall bottomward for reflection. Olivia, now unemployed and disgraced, approved to aberration it, approved to column online that I was mentally ambiguous and jealous. But the internet turned. The affirmation battened louder. Her followers dropped. Brands disassociated. Her landlord, who happened to be an adolescence acquaintance of mine, evicted her. Within a week, both Mom and Olivia were jobless, reputationless, and panicking. But I wasn't done, because this wasn't aloof about consequences. It was about legacy. They had broiled abundance for years. Now I would ablaze endemic on fire. I didn't apprehend from them for 3 weeks. Not a text, not a call, not a like a acquiescent advancing email. but I heard about them. Please subscribe to our approach and acquaint us in comments from Area R. You watching this video? From neighbors, from mutuals on amusing media, from an acquaintance who formed at the courthouse. Turns out Mom was aggravating to sue me for aspersion of character. The aforementioned appearance who alleged me trash, who laughed aback I was burned, who said I should accept never been born. The accusation was thin, based on emotion, not evidence. They couldn't allow attorneys anymore. I could, because clashing. Them I had invested in my approaching while they fed on appearances. I showed up to the pre-hearing in a aciculate atramentous suit, calm, alone. They absolved and attractive like ghosts in Sunday clothes. Mom with her artificial pearls. Olivia in colossal sunglasses to adumbrate the embarrassment she couldn't Photoshop. Away. Mom started it off. She's mentally unstable. She's consistently been dramatic. This is her aggravating to ruin a acceptable family. I stood. No words. Aloof opened the bookbinder I'd brought. The adjudicator advised everything. Audio, photos, hospital bills I paid for out of pocket. Screenshots of threats Olivia had beatific. Me aloof a year ago. One of them saying, "One added chat and I'll accomplish you affliction actuality born." Mom's articulation grew quieter. Olivia started crying. The adjudicator absolved the case on the spot, alleged it a barmy attack to black out the victim, but the best allotment wasn't the win. It was what came next. Because while they'd been scrambling to restore their image, I'd been animate on article, far added permanent. See, I never capital to be like them. I didn't crave attention. I capital to body article real, article that couldn't be taken. So, I launched a program, quietly, adjourned by a nonprofit I'd volunteered with years. Ego. It offered chargeless therapy, apartment resources, and acknowledged advice for victims of ancestors' abuse. Accurately, those aching by sisters, mothers, aunts. The affectionate of corruption no one talks about because it's captivated in anniversary cards and affected smiles. I alleged it the burnback. Subtle? No. Effective? You bet. My Aboriginal accessible account aired 6 weeks later. I kept my name anonymous, but the adventure was unmistakable. The accuser apprehended one of the quotes I'd given. It started with an iron, but the absolute blaze was central me all along. The blow went viral, not because it was dramatic, but because it was true. Thousands of women wrote in. Some knew Olivia. Some had survived mothers like mine. And Olivia, she saw it. She acquainted affecting YouTube video calling me a liar, aggravating to cry on cue but backfired. The comments were brutal. You austere your sister and again cried because she healed louder than your screams. She congenital something. You congenital scars. Sponsors gone. Followers bottom word by the hour. She got blacklisted from every bureau. In town, Mom approved to get her old job at the association center. They said, "We're absolutely staffed." The pastor blocked her on Facebook. And me? I confused to a new city, started fresh, but I didn't change my number. I kept it accessible aloof in case. One day, Olivia called. Her articulation was quiet, broken. "I absent everything," she said. "No," I replied. "You absent everyone. There's a difference." I was aloof angry. I was aloof burned. Click! I afraid up. I didn't charge closure. I was the closure. And as I sat beside the kid, I started mentoring a jailbait with bake marks from a bashed stepfather. I accomplished something. They approved to bake me alive. But I didn't aloof survive. I became fireproof. And I affronted their ashes into article. They could never touch. Article real. Article stronger. Me.